All right, so I'm going to show you another method. So I'm just going to draw a quick rectangle. Vanishing point, third vanishing point. I'm going to do this quickly. At this stage of the game, you guys know what you're doing. You don't need to hear me explain 3-point perspective. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to divide. I'm just going to do something a little different. I'm going to divide this plane here evenly in quarters. Whereas here, I just kind of randomly slice through. I'm going to divide this evenly in quarters. In order to do that, you have to find the center first, the center of this form. To do so, all you have to do is cross your corners. And I'm doing this with a very light line because I'm going to erase these lines eventually. But I'm crossing my corners. I'm going to put a little dot, and then I'm going to connect that dot with the third dot, and I'll make a line here. After that, you're going to do it again. So now I divide it in half. I'm going to divide the half in half. And there's a little point here. I'm going to connect that to the third vanishing point. And I'm going to do it again. But as I'm doing this, I'm erasing these lines so I don't confuse myself or confuse you. And I'm going to do it again down here. I'm going to connect corner to corner, corner to corner. And that finds my center, and I connect that to the third vanishing point. And you can see I divide this into equal sections going back in space because it's in perspective, so this one's going to be much smaller than the one that's closest to you. Once these lines intersect this line here, you just take that and run it right to the right vanishing point. Remember, the golden rule of perspective is that parallel lines recede to the same vanishing point. So if this line's parallel to this one already goes there, then that's your answer. Okay. Something else I'm going to show you in this video is on this side, I'm going to break this up into even spaces. Here it is. So if you look at this guy here, I call this the railroad theory. So this is broken up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just kind of continues on. There's it's not really math, but there's an approach to doing this, a technique, a precise technique. And I'll show you that as well, but you don't have to go this route. In some cases you can. It does add volume to your forms, but as of now, I'm just going to show you how to do it so you have this tool in your toolbox. So the first thing I'm going to do is just randomly put a line in. That's the first one. Everyone else is based off of where I put this. And then also what I'm going to do is cross my corners and find my center of this plane. And I just only need to find the center. And then I take that center to the third vanishing point. And I go through, just as you see here. I'm going to erase the lines that I used to make that diagonal, or to find the center, these diagonal lines here, only because they will confuse you, especially this is so small. And as you can see, when I worked on this one, it gets small and small and small, and I have to do a lot of erasing to get that look. I'll leave this here so you can kind of understand what I'm doing. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take this corner here and see where this line intersects that line. You're going to put a little dot, and then you're going to connect those 2 points. And where that line that you created intersects this line here, that's the next one. Do not confuse it with this line. It just so happened, it's coincidental, it just happened that way. Once I make that point, I get my right vanishing point down here, connected to that point, and I run a line through. I'm gonna repeat this process again. With the exception of starting the corner, I'm gonna start here, put a dot here, and see where these two intersect, put a dot here, and then I run a line through those 2 dots, make a straight line through. When that straight line intersects this outer edge, put a dot, connect it to the right vanishing point. and run a line through. Do it again. Move up a step to here. Find the intersecting spot here. Connect those 2 points where that line intersects the outer edge. Strike a line by connecting it through the right vanishing point through here. You can see these lines are getting smaller and smaller. I'll erase these diagonals and the center line in a second. As you can see, I erased it there. I'm gonna do one more. I'm sorry, don't do the mistake I almost made. I went here and I was gonna go there, but from here to here, connect those 2 dots. And see where it meets this here. I'm gonna run it through. And there you go. Now I can take my little tiny eraser, and you know why I made this an important part of your material list, because you're going to be doing a lot of small erasing. And I even made you buy replaceable fillers, because you probably run out of these a little bit. All right, and I erased that center line, and then I can go back in and clarify those lines, because you are gonna erase some of it by accident. All right, so there you go. Now, as you look at these, this one probably looks a little better because that last one really kind of got close to the edge and it looks a little funny. However, if I were working on a single rectangle, I would either go with this approach or this approach. I wouldn't put both of them on the same rectangle as I did here. I only did that to demonstrate the 2 different methods of breaking down a form. But since I have this, all that work I just did, I'm going to erase. And I'm going to use my big boy eraser, because I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to show you sliding things, staggering things. So now I have my, actually no, I'm going to save that for the next video. So hold tight.